Hello everyone, welcome to this vlog. I am excited about it. It is the beginning of February. So this month I'm going to be participating in Blackathon. I will leave all the information down below. It's basically a month-long readathon focusing on reading books by Black authors. It was created by Jessie, and I'll link their YouTube down below and Instagram and all the information. But it's so much fun. I try to take part in it every year. This time around it's a lot more relaxed, a lot more chill. There's just a few prompts, or 7 prompts total. The first one is to read a book by a Sudanese author, and at first I had no idea. I was like, it's so specific. But in their video they did recommendations and said this one, and I realized that I have this book, and I bought this book recently actually. So this is Seasons of Migration to the North by Taib Salih. This is a very famous Sudanese novel. Sorry, it's a modern classic, and it is translated from Arabic by Denise Johnson Davies. I've heard incredible things about this. The second one is to read a book with black, red, and green on the cover. So this one's also perfect because this is one of my top classics that I want to read this year, and that is Dawn by Octavia E. Butler. This is a sci-fi classic, and it has red, green, and black on the cover. This is the first book in the Lilith Brood trilogy. I am so excited about this because 1, I want to read Octavia E. Butler. 2, I want to read more sci-fi this year, so I'm so excited, and I love these cover designs. They are gorgeous. So I'm only for sure doing 2 prompts, but I'm gonna read more than these 2 books this month, hopefully. The other one that I have that I really want to get to this month is this horror book. This is I Feed Her to the Beast, and the Beast is Me by Jamison Shea. This is a YA novel, and I don't know the last time I read a YA. I think it's when I read The Raven Boys a couple years ago. But oh, I just painted my nails and it matches. Oh my gosh, I have to take a picture for sure now. I already posted this. But this is like my favorite cover. I think this is beautiful. The title is like, oh my god, I just love everything about this. I don't know what it's about. I'm a little hesitant because it's YA. That's why it took me forever to pick it up. But you know what? We're just gonna read it this month. I think it's gonna be a fun time. So I'm super excited to get to this one. And then the last book that I have that I definitely want to get to this month is an anthology, and that is Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele. This is an anthology of Black new horror. I didn't know what I wanted to start off with because I just finished Our Share of Night, which was an Argentinian horror novel that I absolutely love. I'm not really in the mood for another horror. I just don't want to get burnt out on it. And then I was leaning towards starting Dawn, just because I haven't read a sci-fi in a while and I really want to get to this. So I think we're gonna start off with this one. I think that's what we're gonna do. So I am very hungry, so I'm gonna get some dinner, and then I will come back and chat with you whenever I start this. Later, I have started Dawn by Octavia E. Butler, and I am really enjoying it. I got to part 2 now, which is on basically 50 pages in. Yeah, basically 50 pages in. So we are following this woman named Lilith, and the Earth was basically destroyed by humans in some giant war, and she woke up in this isolated room where there was just like a table, a bed, and a bathroom. And she has been woken up many times before, and she called it the awakening. Now, obviously, this is a first contact with aliens, so I don't think it's a spoiler saying that she was taken by aliens, basically to start a new life. And what's the word? Let me see how they do it on here. But yes, so now the Earth is restored, and they want to put the humans back on Earth, but there's obviously was like some sort of trade. They're like trading abilities, intelligence, things like that. Yeah, and she's very skeptical, obviously. So yes, I'm curious. I'm liking it so far. It's pretty obvious what her Octavia E. Butler's like metaphors and what she's alluding to, like xenophobia and things like that. So far it's like pretty straightforward, and she's not trying to make it too subtle, but it's not too in your face. So I am liking it a lot. It's really easy to read. It's very readable. Like I feel like I could sit here and read this, like just read this in one sitting. I'm not going to, but it's that kind of book where it's just really easy to fall into. So I'm really liking it. I'm glad I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the sci-fi elements. This is, again, reminding me how much I love sci-fi, and I need to read more of it because I always enjoy it. But yeah, I will come back at you with an update later on. I ordered something from Book Babe Designs. I ordered from her before. She has really cute, like bookish things that aren't book specific, but just like cute bookish stuff. And she came out with a romance trope t-shirt line, and I know you're all thinking, you don't read romance. I don't. But my sister does, and I thought she would like one of the shirts, so I sent it to her and told her to pick one. And then this lighting is just so bad. I can't even move. This is so much better. All right, so I was saying that so she came out with a romance trope t-shirt line, and I don't read romance, as you all know, but my sister does, and I told her to pick out a t-shirt, but one of the designs was so cute that I was like, I want it for myself. And it ended up being the same one that my sister liked. So let me show you. I think, well, actually I don't know when this vlog is gonna go up, but I'll link her shop down below. Okay, so this is the shirt I love. It's like that green color that I love, and it says Slow Burn Book Club, and then meet me at the bookstore. I just thought that was so cute with a little car. And I love the color and the light purple. I just love it. I thought it was so cute. Got my sister the same one because that's the one that she liked. So I'm gonna send it to her. I'm gonna make her a little like book box thing, because why not? I'll show you guys as I make it. Okay, hello. Today is Monday, I think. Yeah, today's Monday. And I thought I would come and give a little update. I haven't read any more of Dawn. I'm gonna read some more tonight. But this morning, I went grocery shopping and I stopped at Barnes & Noble because ever since reading, oh my gosh, my battery's flashing at me. Ever since reading Our Share of Night, there's actually a lot of poetry in that book because the main character Gaspar and the dad love to read poetry. And oh my gosh, the lines are so beautiful, and it made me want to check out some poetry. Like, it inspired me. So I wanted to go to Barnes & Noble and just see what I could find. So of course I picked up more than one thing, but I joined the Barnes & Noble membership like a month or so ago, and I finally got my tote bag, so I picked the black and gold one. I thought it was cute. Okay, so let me show you what I got. Hopefully the camera doesn't die. I think it will, but so I got 3 things. The first one is a novel. This is Mostrillio by Gerardo Samano Cordova, and I have been wanting this book forever, but the hardcover is like sold out everywhere. I guess because the paperback recently was released. Like literally I ordered from Barnes & Noble almost a month ago, I think, or maybe over a month ago, and they canceled my order saying it was like out of stock, which doesn't make sense because I ordered it and it was in stock. Anyway, so I got the paperback because I really want to read this. So I'm gonna be reading this in March, obviously, because I'm gonna focus on books by Black authors this month, but I'm so excited about this. So we got that one. And then as for my poetry, so I was just looking through the shelves trying to see if anything called out to me. The poetry section, if you're trying to get into it, is a little overwhelming because there's so much, you don't know what you like. But I saw this title, obviously caught my attention. The cover caught my attention because you guys know I love anything about space. And then I pulled it out and it said winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So I was like, okay. And then I saw it was by a Black author. Just like, so how perfect is that? So I can read this month. Yeah, I just like kind of pulled it out. I like read a couple lines from one random poem and I thought it sounded cool, so I figured that's great. And then as I was like leaving, they had a little table and I saw this, which this I have heard of. This is Bluettes by Maggie Nelson. This edition is so beautiful. Oh wow, I'm just not even picking up how pretty this is on the camera. But I've heard of this before and I thought I would just go ahead and get it because I think it was all about the color blue, and I read the very first part of this and I thought it was so beautiful that I decided to get it. Suppose I were to begin by saying that I have fallen in love with the color. Suppose I were to speak this as though it were a confession. Suppose I shredded my napkin as we spoke. It began slowly, an appreciation, an affinity. Then one day it became more serious. I don't know, I just thought that sounded so interesting and I've heard great things about this. So I decided to go ahead and get this too. So that is my very random little selection from Barnes & Noble. I'm so excited about these. Hello everyone. I haven't come to update in a while. I feel like I have a lot of things to update you on, but today is Sunday, February 11th or 12th, one of those. You all know I never know the dates in my vlogs. But I am so excited because I'm going to get my first tattoo today. It all happened really fast. Like, I just kind of finally made the decision. Like, I found a tattoo artist that I really liked, and she was available, and I just like went for it. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it because I'm tired of always saying I'm gonna get a tattoo and I have yet to do it. And yeah, I'm so excited. I will show you all the process. My best friend is coming with me, so I'm very excited. We're gonna get brunch first, and then we're gonna go get my tattoo. I'm really excited. I'm actually not as nervous as I thought I would be today. I probably will once I get in the shop. I'm more nervous, I think, for the pain and just like, I don't know, it's like you're just nervous for like a new experience. But I'm more excited than nervous. But I was also telling my friends that I think this is gonna like unlock something in me. And I'm gonna, after this one, I'm gonna get like so many tattoos by the end of the year. Like I already see it happening. I already have like 3 or 4 others like I'm like set on that I do want. So who knows, but whatever. I'm excited for this one. Okay, hello, I am back from getting my tattoo. Let me show you all, hold on, let me put this down. I love it so much. If you guys can see, so I got a little ghost. I'll do better videos, I think you guys could kind of see. But yeah, I got a little ghost and I love it so much. I've had this idea for like 2 or 3 years. I got this idea. Oh my gosh, and she like drew it. I'll link the artist down below. She's like a newer tattoo artist. Yeah, I just like found her on Instagram. She is at this like really famous, well, I don't know if it's a famous tattoo shop, but it's a like pretty well-known tattoo shop where I think a lot of like rotating artists come through. She was so sweet. She was literally like so nice. She's from the Ukraine, and she went to medical school. That's how I kind of felt like a little connection with her over Instagram. She was so nice. Like I would go back to her for all of my tattoos. But anyways, so I wanted it on the forearm so that when my arm is like this, you can't really see. So I knew I wanted a ghost on my inner forearm for a long time now, and I absolutely love it. Like she did it exactly how I wanted. She drew the eyes without me even having to tell her. Like I wanted the eyes to look really sad. I know that sounds so weird. I would say overall literally like a 5 out of 10. Like the pain was not bad at all. I was so surprised. She was like, this is a really painful area. It really wasn't, even with the shading and stuff, it really didn't hurt that bad. The reason why I wanted a little ghost is just because like I feel like it represents everything that I love. I've always loved like darker, moodier, sadder things, and I thought a ghost just like perfectly represented that. My love of Halloween is represented through this, and then I also just love the idea of like someone or something haunting you in like the literary gothic romantic sense of something or someone haunting you. I've always loved that idea and that concept, and I think it's so beautiful. It's like so beautifully sad, so it kind of represents all that, and also I just think it's so cute, and I just think it fits me perfectly, and I love it so much. Hello everyone. I look so much worse in this camera than I do in person, like looking in the mirror. The lighting's just horrible, so I'm sorry to see me like this, but I wanted to come and give you all some updates because I feel like I'm getting ready for the day. It's Monday. I had the morning off, and then I have to go to work this afternoon. I'm gonna go run some errands. I booked a Zipcar. I also I bought this Hourglass concealer. I'm in the color Sienna. This stuff is incredible. If you're looking for a new, I know I'm old to this trend, but this stuff is amazing. I have to put on barely any concealer. It blends it. Oh my gosh, this stuff is incredible. It's expensive, but it is worth it. My reading, so I am supposed to be reading Dawn, the science fiction book, and I don't know what it is. Like, I like it, but it's kind of putting me in a reading slump, and like I have no desire to pick the book up. Like, I've been avoiding reading because I don't want to read it, and I don't know why. There's something wrong with the book. So I think I'm just gonna put it down, and we're gonna pick up one of my other books, the classic, the literary fiction. My brain is like off right now because I think I'm in the mood for a literary fiction. So I'm going to start reading that one, and then we will come back to Dawn. It's really showing my bags on the camera. Looks better in person, I promise. Anyways, so then the other update is that I am trying to watch all of the Oscar films. I'm trying to watch all of the films that were nominated for Best Picture for the Oscars. I used to do this back in college. Like, in college, I was so into films. Like, I took a bunch of film classes. I studied film. I loved it so much, and I really want to get back into it. And that was something me and my roommate would do. We would watch all of the all the best films nominated, so then we could actually say which one we wanted to win. It was so much fun. So I want to do that this year. So I've already seen, obviously, Barbie, and then I watched recently Maestro because it was the only one that I could find for free. I didn't feel like paying for anything. So Maestro is the one with Bradley Cooper. I'll put the movie poster here. That was actually really good, and I didn't realize that he directed it. He directed that movie. It was so good. I was very surprised. He did a great job. I don't think he got nominated either for Best Director. Yeah, but he did incredible. And there's this one scene. It's not one take, but there is this one scene where the orchestra plays in it. Oh, it's about this composer. I forget his name, but he wrote like West Side Story, and he did a bunch of other famous music. And there's this one scene where they're like in a church, and the orchestra is playing they play like one song fully through, and Bradley Cooper's like doing his composing, and it made me cry. It was so beautiful. Like, you literally felt like you're in the audience, and then you feel their like tension and like their awe, and you also feel the same way. And then what's her name, Carey Mulligan, she's the wife, and like her reaction is exactly how you feel. Oh wow, that part was like so beautiful. I really enjoyed that movie. I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture, but I still really enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I liked it. Like, my attention span, I think like most of us, hasn't been the best, and sometimes it's hard for me to focus on a movie for like 2.5 hours, but I was hooked the whole time. I think those are all my updates. I think that is all my updates. I am very excited about Taylor Swift's new album. I think it was kind of weird to announce it at the Grammys. I don't know if anyone else, I know some people feel that way. I did think it was a little awkward, but I am still excited about it. I think Thursday, February 15th, and I thought I would come give a little bit of an update. Okay, oh my gosh, I took the film off of my tattoo because you have to leave the like clear film on for 4 days. Taking the film off hurt more than the actual tattoo. So I started Seasons of Migration to the North, which I'm pretty sure I told you all, and I am really enjoying it. It took me a little bit to get into it, but last night I read so much and I'm really annotating it like crazy. You are following this man, and he has come back to his village in Sudan, and there is this other man that he notices that he doesn't recognize. His name is Mustafa. His name is Mustafa, and Mustafa starts to tell our main character, which I forget his name, his story, and it is crazy. I don't want to give anything away. Yeah, so he's telling his story of how Mustafa came to London, his life in London, and what brought him to end up in his village. It is very interesting. It's written really well, but I have to say, like, his story involves like kind of using women, so I'm curious to see where it's gonna go, because I can't imagine that this book became so popular and is so beloved unless there's a meaning behind all of this and a reason for him treating women this way, and like sexualizing women and objectifying women. So I have hope, but it's written so well. The first sentence was incredible. So the first sentence says, "It was, gentlemen, after a long absence, 7 years to be exact, during which time I was studying in Europe, that I returned to my people." I don't know, I just love that first sentence. This book it's not reminding me of Giovanni's Room, but it's kind of giving me the feeling of Giovanni's Room, sort of, in the fact that like the writing is so incredible and I want to highlight every single thing. It's not giving me the emotional feeling that Giovanni's Room did, but like the writing is still so incredible. So I'm really loving this. I'm glad that I decided to pick this up. Hello, it is now Tuesday the 20th, I think, and I thought I would come do a little update of the vlog. So actually, my little brother came to visit. We went to the Nutella cafe, which I've been wanting to go to, and I knew he would like it because he loves anything sweet. It was really good. And then we went to like an EDM concert because that's why he came, to go to this concert. It was very interesting. And then I went to this new bookstore, which I put clips in. I have been seeing this. It's very close to where I live. It's on Michigan. It's called Exile in Bookville, which I did show. And it's really, really cool bookstore. I really liked it a lot. Actually, I can't believe I haven't gone in this whole time since I lived here, but I really liked it a lot. It's in a really cool building. They have more like translated works, more like indie books, whereas there's another one that's kind of close to me that has more just like recently published works, but that one was a lot bigger. They also sell like records. It was a really cool bookstore. I definitely think if you come to Chicago, like you should check out this bookstore, and it's right in kind of the touristy areas, maybe like a couple blocks down from like the Bean. I did pick up 2 books there. One of them I don't have with me anymore because I sent it with my brother to give to my dad, but I showed a clip of me finding it. It is a like biography of this band called Kraftwerk, which is a like electronic German band. It's this band that my dad loves. It's like one of his favorite bands of all time. So I grew up listening to this music. It's like electronic pop kind of music. But anyways, my brother's the one who saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to buy it for my dad. So I think he will like that. So I sent that one with my brother to give back to my dad. But then I picked up this one for me. This is Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro. This is translated by Frances Riddle. I believe this is translated from Spanish. Sorry if you can hear Toby. This is translated from Spanish, and I believe this is an Argentinian novel, which I have discovered that I love Argentinian books. I've read like 3 of them so far. Yeah, because this takes place in Buenos Aires. So I saw this from Jack Edwards. He loves this book. I think I'm really gonna like it. I have no idea what it's about, but I am excited. I love translated work, so I think this is gonna be a good one. I'm very, very excited to check this one out. All right, so I thought I would come and give you a little review of Seasons of Migration to the North. I finished this a couple days ago, and I don't know quite how I feel about it. I really loved the writing. You see, I have so many tabs and annotations because it's written so beautifully and so interestingly, and also it's just one of those books where like you feel like you could write an essay if you had to, and you could have like great discussions about like colonialism, like the violence upon women. And here is very interesting. Did colonialism create this like dark individual, kind of evil man, to be fair, or was it that he was already like this and he was just in the perfect environment? Because you have another man, so you have Mustafa, who is the guy who is like an outsider in this village who came to live there permanently, and then you have our unnamed narrator who sees Mustafa and is like, who are you in my village? And kind of gets his life story. But both of these men went to Europe for several years and kind of got like an education and Europe customs and things like that. But they both came back, and they're both 2 different people. So it's just interesting to see those parallels. But I don't know, I thought that there were some good discussions, obviously, but I don't know why it just didn't quite hit home. I think I'm gonna give this like a 3 out of 5 stars. I still really enjoyed it. Like I said, the writing was beautiful. I don't know, maybe because like I didn't really quite feel any empathy for the characters. Like I felt empathy for them in regards to colonialism and feeling like an outcast, and like kind of like Mustafa kind of even like dug into the stereotypes and what these Europeans were thinking of him even more, and kind of like exaggerated even more, which I thought was interesting. But I don't know, I still didn't quite feel anything about the characters. I think that's what was missing from this, even though the writing was so beautiful. There are some incredible quotes that I will read to you. I still definitely recommend this. This one is Mustafa telling about his life. Everything which happened before my meeting her was a premonition. Everything I did after I killed her was an apology, not for killing her, but for the lie that was my life. And then one of my favorite lines like I've ever read in a book, let me find it. It's when Mustafa is on the boat headed to Europe, and he says, I savored that feeling of being nowhere, alone, before and behind me, either eternity or nothingness. Oh my gosh, I love that one so much. I still definitely recommend this. I think a lot of people would like this book if you're interested in it. Now it's time for me to start a new book. I have not finished Dawn, which is here. I still haven't made any more progress. I've gotten like this far, and I'm not really in the mood to continue, to be honest. So it's between these 2 books that are left on my TBR. So we have Out There Screaming and I Feed Her to the Beast, and The Beast Is Me, which I do really want to read this one, but I think I'm gonna start with this one and read a couple short stories today. I'm excited because the very first story is by N.K. Jemisin, so I think it's going to, hopefully, it's going to be a good one. Yeah, the first one by N.K. Jemisin is called Reckless Eyeballing. Okay, so sorry if you can hear the laundry machine, but I want to come and give a little update because I am reading some. I started Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele. I so far have read 3 stories. I read 2 last night and I just read 1. Okay, so the first 2 I thought were just okay. I gave the first 2 both 3 stars. So the first one, which is by N.K. Jemisin, which I was super excited to read because I love her works. I've read 2 of her books. Reckless Eyeballing, that was about like a cop who starts to see the headlights of cars have eyeballs. It was weird. I don't know, I didn't really care for it. I gave it 3 stars. I Am Tooth by Rebecca Roanhorse, who I know is a famous author. I know she has like a famous fantasy series. Sorry, Toby is doing his thing. I Am Tooth, oh, that was about a brother and sister who were like almost like monster hunters, and they get called in to this lady's house in the south to try to find this like creature that is killing animals and things in her home. That one was okay too. Gave it 3 stars. 3 stars is like, it's fine. It didn't do anything wrong, because I'm thinking like a 2-star or less would be like I actually didn't like it. So 3 stars is fine. And the one that I just read was called Wandering Devil by Cadwell Turnbull, who is an author that I've never heard of, because I really enjoy it. Like, I was underlining things. I gave it 5 stars. This one, you're following this man named Freddie who doesn't want to stay in one place. He constantly wants to leave and wander. So it's called The Wandering Devil. Has like now found himself in Pittsburgh and he's dating this girl, and he basically has to decide if he wants to stay with her or not. I really like that one. No, wanderers like us could fall right through the earth and no one would know where to look or even bother. People like us, he cleared some of the rasp from his throat, will leave a string of broken hearts behind and hatred long and black as the shadow at dawn. I just really love this one because it's definitely, it felt more like literary fiction. You're just following these characters, and then there's like this hint of horror, which is my brand of horror that I prefer than like outright horror, which I feel like the first 2 were definitely more outright horror, but I really loved it. And also the foreword by Jordan Peele, which is only a 1.5 pages, was so good. He talks about how he became obsessed with something called an oubliette, which was a type of torture thing, medieval torture thing that people use. I view horror as catharsis through entertainment. It's a way to work through your deepest pain and fear, but for Black people that isn't possible, and for many decades wasn't possible without the stories being told in the first place. Black people were sent to these psychological oubliettes, a place where you were stripped of all agency and left alone with your struggle, where you could see life going on around you, but you were essentially a bystander, forgotten. Like literally the foreword was like 5 stars. Anyways, I really love it. I'm gonna watch Kayla's new video now, and then I probably will read another story tonight.